Have you been out shopping recently? I have been out and I'm seeing tons of prints. And for me, my closet has enough prints. I really don't need a lot more prints. I've picked up a few this season, but not tons. Are you a print person? Do you love prints? I would love to know. So comment below. Are you a print gal or are you not? Or send me an email. Let me know. I would love to know if you're into prints. And prints are one of those things that are really nice because it adds a little spice and a little variety to our outfits, doesn't it? One of the things I don't recommend, if you are a speaker, I wouldn't recommend wearing a lot of prints when you speak because you never know what your background is going to be. And I'm not a big, huge fan of prints, and there's a couple reasons why. The first reason is because people remember you by the print that you wear. And you might say, oh, do they really? And I'm like, yes. I remember sharing this one time during a presentation and someone came up to me afterwards and said, you were so right. I guess they had wore a top on Friday, wore the same top on Monday after they had laundered it over the weekend, just not even thinking about that they had wore it, just a fun top that they loved. And they wore it and someone said, oh, you just wore that top on Friday. Like they put two and two together and it was a guy. So if you don't think people realize that, like the prints that you wear, they do. And so when you have prints and you have a lot of, or if you like to wear prints all the time, you have to have a lot of prints because otherwise people are going to remember you. So if I wear this week, I can't wear this print next week. And so I find a lot of my clients end up with all these prints and it makes their closet absolutely overwhelming. Plus, with prints, you have to really get it right. Otherwise, you are not going to be the focal of your look like you should be. Instead, the clothing is going to stand out more than you. And you always want the clothing to complement you and who you are so people actually notice you. So, what do you have to consider when choosing prints? One of the first things is you have to look at the color, your color personality, and your level of contrast. You see, we classify people in seasons with color. We classify them as winter, spring, summer, falls. Do you know what you are? Because when you're wearing a print, it needs to fall within that category. So when I do color analysis with people, I actually send them with a palette of colors that are going to look good on them. So when you choose prints that are in that color range, it really complements your natural undertones in your skin. You also have to look at your level of contrast, and you have to choose prints in that level of contrast. So this would be a low level contrast. So the differences between the two colors are very subtle, aren't they, with the low contrast? And then they have something called a medium contrast, and each of us are classified into these different contrasts. So this would be more of a medium contrast, okay? Meaning that the print and the background, it has it's a little muted, but it's not totally muted. And then this is a high contrast, meaning it's very bold. The differences between the color are night and day, like black and white, right? That is a high contrast. And when you know what contrast you are, it helps you in choosing the prints that are going to complement you. So for me, the low contrast, maybe even medium contrast, kind of like what I'm wearing right now is more of a medium contrast. Those prints are going to look best on me versus the ones that are like black and white. Those are not going to look as good on me. So another thing that you have to consider is the scale of your body and your facial features. Are you more big or small boned? Are you tall? Are you short? Are your facial features larger or kind of medium size, or are they smaller? If you were a small scale person and you wore a very large print, so maybe big, large flowers, many times it's going to make you look overwhelmed in it, right? It's going to make it look kind of frumpy. Or if you're a larger scale person and you wear teeny tiny little prints, Well, that is actually going to make you look a little bit more juvenile, or you're going to look very precious. And most of us don't want to look precious, even though we would like to look younger, right? But not like too young, right? So you have to really kind of be careful about that, the size of your body. And you also have to look at, where are your problem areas? You never want to put those prints in those problem areas. So say if your bottom half, say you've got a large butt, okay? You would not want to wear prints on the bottom half because it's going to draw the attention. It emphasizes the area. Now, sometimes you can wear a print that's very slimming, but you got to be careful. Got to be really, really careful with that and know exactly what to wear. Then you also have to look at your style personality. We are all classified in different styles. And you always want to make sure that you wear the print that's going to accentuate your style and who you are. So I'm more of a sophisticated style. So florals are not something that really lights me up. So I have to be really careful about what I buy to make sure it's going to complement me and who I am. And recently I've been doing a lot of study on this and realized that I kind of looked at the prints that I had in my closet, and I realized that actually my prints really complement me and who I am with my style personality. So this one's one of them with like kind of a snakeskin animal print. You see me a lot in animal prints because it really complements me in that sophisticated style, as well as my coloring. It looks great with my skin tone. So I have to ask you, did you know that your color personality and your level of contrast, and as well as the scale of your body and the features of your face and your style personality, did you know that that had an impact on which prints you should be wearing? Or were you like me, that I just used to go out and just buy the print that I liked, but then I would find many times I wouldn't wear it very often because it, well, just wasn't me, and I didn't really even realize it wasn't. So you need to consider these things when choosing your prints. And if you would like some help, I would love to help you in this area. It's one of the things that I love to do with people, is helping them really understand what's going to look best on them so they can shine when they wear those clothes, and they could be the focal point rather than the clothes being the focal point. So if you'd like to discuss it, would love to have a chat with you and talk about what prints might look best on you.